What's up, YouTubers? I came to talk to you today about this dirty little secret, your club face. Alright, the club face. Ultra important what your club face does to create a predictable ball flight, as well as understand and diagnose what you're doing and how you can improve upon your patterns. So, I'm going to just start with the basics of where I like to see the club face. I want you to understand a couple things here. There's variation in how good players play the game. Alright? So that club face could be more closed or more open, but what I want you to take from this is if you're a person who slices the ball, your club face needs to be more closed. If you're a person that hooks the ball, your club face needs to be more open. Now, that's assuming good contact. That's an assumption. If you're creating good contact, that's a hard and fast rule for you. If you're not creating good contact, we need to work on that. But let's get to the club face. We're going to start with our club face pointed at our target. From the rear, from the back, or from the side view, that should look something like this. I see a lot of players when they set up to it, they tend to close it because they're slicers. And that's a very natural thing to do. But what you're doing is you're building a compensation for a poor setup. So don't do that. Let's get the setup right, and then we can build skills, not compensations. So, club face pointed at the target. Halfway back. Halfway back, I really like to see the club face slightly angled down. I like to use a clock when I'm talking about it too. So if we're at 12 o'clock here, and this is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I like between 1 and 2 o'clock. And that's where most of the best ball strikers are. Now somebody's going to say, oh yeah, there's people who are more closed and people who are more open. Yeah, of course there are. But this is a stock position, somewhere we can start from. So, between 1 and 2 o'clock, as we come up, again, there's variation. But I like that club face to be pointed relatively down the left arm line. And again, if you're a slicer, try to get that club face more pointed to the sky. If you're a hooker, try to let that club face open up a little bit. All right? Okay, so we're up at the top. We're coming down. Let's hit this halfway down checkpoint. Again, I like that club face to have a slight downward angle to it, like a 1 o'clock type angle. And then through here, we're starting to get that thing looking at the ball. And this is really important. A lot of you have open club faces coming down, and you tend to roll that face shut through. That's super hard to time up. Imagine timing this up through the hit. It's like nearly impossible. So, get that thing back. We're going to square it up early, and then from there, we can just rely on body rotation and trying to keep that club face square or perpendicular to our swing arc. And that's going to yield the most consistent results. So, it's important that you have a basic understanding of your club face, what you're trying to accomplish, and then we can build out, we can layer on, and ultimately we have a starting point. So we can have a good conversation about where you're at versus the starting point, and then ultimately what we like to see versus your ball flight. But this is just a starting point. I want you to remember, hustle every day in the name of better golf. If it's important to you, make it a priority. Do something small every day, and we're going to chase down those goals.